Some words don't make you sound polite. Some words don't make you sound humble. Some words make you look weak the moment they leave your mouth. Most men don't even realize it. They think they're being easygoing, respectful, or keeping the peace. But the truth is harsher. The wrong phrase can drain your authority, shrink your presence, and signal that you doubt yourself long before anyone else does. In a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, your words become more than communication. They become evidence of your backbone, your standards, and your inner discipline. Stoic philosophy teaches that strength isn't shown through volume or aggression. It's shown through clarity, intention, and control. And the fastest way to lose respect is to speak from fear instead of principle. That's why today we're exposing 7 everyday phrases that weaken you instantly. Phrases men in America say all the time without realizing how much power they give away. Comment below to anchor your identity. My voice reflects my principles. 1. Whatever you want is fine. Some phrases sound harmless. This one sounds agreeable. But beneath the surface, it quietly communicates one thing. I don't value my own preferences. When a man says, whatever you want is fine, he thinks he's being flexible, laid back, or easy to get along with. But to the person listening, especially in American culture, something very different is happening. It signals passivity. It signals a lack of self-direction, and most importantly, it signals that you are willing to silence your own needs just to avoid tension or disapproval. People may appreciate the convenience of it, but they will not respect it. Humans are wired to test each other's boundaries, not out of malice, but out of instinct. And if you consistently communicate, even subtly, that you have no preferences, no standards, or no internal compass, others will begin making decisions for you. Not because they're controlling, but because you've unintentionally given away the responsibility of leadership. In friendships, this creates imbalance. In relationships, it creates resentment. In the workplace, it turns you into someone who is nice, but never influential. From a Stoic perspective, this phrase reveals a deeper issue: the fear of disappointing others. The Stoics taught that a man's foundation must be rooted in clarity and rational judgment, not in the desire to be pleasing. Marcus Aurelius wrote that your character is defined by the choices you make, not the ones you avoid. When you default to whatever you want is fine, you are avoiding a choice that belongs to you. You abandon the opportunity to express your values, your boundaries, or even your basic preferences, things that form the core of who you are. This doesn't mean you must be rigid. It doesn't mean you need to dominate every decision. What it means is that you must participate. You must reveal your direction. A man who cannot state what he wants with a calm, steady voice does not appear peaceful. He appears uncertain. And uncertainty, when repeated, erodes trust. People don't rely on the agreeable man. They rely on the man who knows where he stands. Instead of saying, whatever you want is fine, replace it with, here's what works for me. It's simple, neutral, and grounded. It asserts your presence without aggression. It signals cooperation without surrender. And more importantly, it establishes a pattern. You have preferences, you have a point of view, and you're willing to voice it. Practice this in small ways first. When someone asks where you want to eat, choose a place. When someone asks how you'd like something done, give a clear answer. When asked for your opinion, offer a concise one. Every time you assert a preference, you rebuild the muscle of self-respect. Remember this: clarity is not conflict. Certainty is not arrogance. And stating what you want is not selfish. It's responsible. Your mantra for this phrase: clarity is respect. 2. I don't want any trouble. Some sentences carry fear even when spoken softly. Some sentences sound mature, calm, or reasonable. But this one tells the world, I'm afraid of confrontation, so please don't challenge me. Most men who use this phrase believe they are being sensible. They think they're being the bigger person, avoiding conflict and choosing peace. But to others, especially in American social dynamics, this phrase quietly signals something else. You are willing to bend, retreat, or disappear the moment pressure shows up. And people notice. They may not say anything, but they register it, they store it, and they respond to you differently from that moment on. Conflict avoidance is one of the fastest ways a man loses respect in the eyes of others. Not because people like conflict, they don't, but because strength is revealed not in aggression, but in the ability to face uncomfortable situations with composure. When you say, I don't want any trouble, you're not just avoiding tension. You're announcing to the world that you have no strategy for dealing with it. You are signaling that external pressure controls you more than your internal principles do. The Stoics understood this deeply. They taught that courage is not bravado, it's not yelling, it's not physical dominance. Courage is the steady willingness to meet reality instead of hiding from it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that obstacles are not enemies, they are the path. When a man tries to bypass every difficult conversation, disagreement, or boundary-setting moment, he is not being peaceful, he is being passive. And passivity, repeated consistently, becomes a habit of self-erasure. In America, this phrase appears everywhere, in workplaces, neighborhoods, dating, negotiations, even small social interactions. A man will say it when someone cuts in line, when a co-worker disrespects him, when a partner crosses a boundary, or when a stranger speaks to him with attitude. The phrase sounds harmless, but inside it is rooted in a belief. If I just stay small enough, nothing bad will happen. That belief doesn't protect you, it weakens you. It makes you a target for those who push limits. It invites people to ignore your needs, your space, and your self-respect. The goal is not to seek conflict. That's foolish. The goal is to stay present when conflict arises, to hold your ground with calmness, and to rely on principle instead of fear. You don't need to shout. You don't need to escalate. You simply need to stop retreating. A stronger Stoic alternative is, let's address this directly. It communicates maturity, clarity, and courage without aggression. It tells others that you won't run, but you also won't overreact. Start practicing this in small, low-stakes moments. When something bothers you, speak up with calmness. When someone crosses a line, name it clearly. When tension appears, slow your breathing and stay in the moment instead of shrinking away. Every small act of presence builds the internal reinforcement that you are capable of handling life as it comes. Avoiding trouble doesn't bring peace, it brings self-doubt. Facing reality brings strength. And your mantra for this phrase is simple. Courage over avoidance. 3. It's okay, I'll just handle it. Some sentences look noble on the surface. Some sentences make you seem responsible, dependable, even strong. But this one quietly says, I'll carry everything, even when it crushes me, because I'm afraid to ask for fairness. Men in America use this phrase more than they realize. At work, at home, with friends, even in dating. It's the phrase you say when someone drops their responsibilities onto you. It's what you say when you don't want to inconvenience anyone. It's what you say when deep down you believe your comfort matters less than everyone else's. And while people may thank you, appreciate you, or even admire your reliability, they won't respect the weakness beneath it. Because make no mistake, this is not strength. It is silent self-abandonment. When you repeatedly say, it's okay, I'll just handle it, you train others to treat you as the fallback option, the emotional dumpster, the person who absorbs everything. You become the man who always picks up the slack, who always makes up for someone else's inconsistency, who always sacrifices his time, energy, and peace to keep the world around him functioning. But here's the painful part. The more you tolerate it, the less others value it. Stoicism teaches that responsibility is sacred, but only when it is yours. Accepting responsibility you were never meant to carry isn't virtuous. It's boundaryless. Seneca wrote that a wise man distinguishes between what belongs to him and what does not. When you take on the burdens of others out of fear of saying no, fear of disappointing someone, fear of temporary conflict, you're not acting out of strength. You're acting out of self-neglect. People often confuse selflessness with self-erasure, but these are not the same. Selflessness is generosity. Self-erasure is weakness. One builds connection, the other builds resentment. And every man who constantly says, "I'll handle it," eventually reaches a breaking point. Burnout, frustration, emotional distance, or explosive anger that surprises everyone, including himself. The solution is not to become selfish. The solution is to become honest. The Stoic alternative to this phrase is simple, steady, and powerful. Here's what I can take on, and here's what I can't. This sentence shows clarity, maturity, and self-respect. It communicates boundaries without hostility. It signals cooperation without self-sacrifice. And most importantly, it teaches others how to treat you. To practice this, start small. When someone tries to pass a task to you, pause before answering. Notice if your body tightens or if you feel guilt for saying no. That is the emotional reflex you must retrain. Choose one moment each day to articulate a limit calmly. I can do this part, but not that part. My schedule is full today. I don't have the space for that right now. These are sentences of adulthood, not rebellion. Every time you set a boundary, you reinforce an identity. You are not the default fix-it machine. You are a man with a life, priorities, and self-respect. And your mantra for this phrase is the one you must remember. Respect begins with limits. 4. I don't want to be a burden. Some words sound gentle. Some words sound thoughtful. But this one quietly reveals a deep wound. I don't believe my needs deserve space in someone else's world. Men in America say this phrase constantly, especially those who grew up being told to man up, deal with it, or don't make things difficult. It masquerades as politeness, humility, or emotional maturity. But beneath the surface, it signals something much darker, a belief that your presence, your struggles, or your needs are somehow an inconvenience. It suggests that you expect rejection before you even give people the chance to understand you. And without realizing it, you shrink yourself down before anyone else has the opportunity to see you clearly. This phrase sounds noble, but it is built on fear. It is rooted in self-protection. If I never need anything, I can never be disappointed. It is rooted in pride. I'd rather break alone than risk vulnerability. And it is rooted in isolation. No one should carry anything for me. Yet in reality, it only reinforces loneliness and emotional distance. People who care about you cannot connect with you if you reject support before it's even offered. Stoicism is often misunderstood as emotional suppression, but the truth is the opposite. Stoicism values honesty and clarity. It teaches that suffering is eased through reason, humility, and shared wisdom. Seneca wrote that even the wisest men need counsel, companionship, and a place to lay their burdens. He warned that withdrawing into oneself out of pride or fear is not strength. It is isolation masquerading as control. When you say, "I don't want to be a burden," what you really communicate is this: I don't trust that my needs are valid. I don't believe others have the capacity to care. I don't think I deserve support. And that mindset weakens you far more than any emotion ever could. In American relationships, whether romantic, familial, or professional, authentic strength is measured not just by what you carry, but by what you're willing to share. People respect the man who can say, "I need help with this," because it shows self-awareness, not weakness. They trust the man who can express difficulty calmly, because it demonstrates emotional precision. They connect with the man who opens the door enough for real understanding to flow through. The stronger Stoic alternative to this phrase is simple and grounded. "Can I share something with you?" It doesn't demand. It doesn't complain. It doesn't plead. It simply opens a space where honesty can enter. It shows respect for yourself and respect for the other person. It communicates courage, not fragility. Practice this truth in small steps. The next time someone asks how you're doing, resist the reflex to minimize your experience. Tell one honest sentence. When someone offers support, accept a small piece of it. When you're overwhelmed, communicate it clearly instead of disappearing silently. These micro moments retrain your mind to understand that connection is not weakness. It's part of a disciplined, well-lived life. Your needs do not make you a burden. Your silence does. Your mantra for this phrase: honesty is not a burden. 5. It's probably a stupid idea, but some sentences kill your credibility before you even speak the idea. Some sentences sound like humility, but this one quietly whispers, "I don't trust my own intelligence, so don't judge me too harshly." Men in America use this phrase constantly, especially in meetings, brainstorming sessions, dates, interviews, and any situation where they fear looking foolish. They believe softening their idea will soften the criticism. They think downplaying themselves makes them easier to accept, but that is not what people hear. What people actually hear is uncertainty, insecurity, and a lack of confidence in your own thinking. This phrase doesn't make you sound humble. It makes you sound unsure. And uncertainty is one of the quickest ways to lose influence. When you preface your idea by calling it stupid, people subconsciously accept that framing, even if the idea is excellent. You've already told them how to value it. You've planted the seed of doubt before letting the idea stand on its own. And in American communication culture, especially in professional environments, people respond strongly to confidence signals. Not ego, not arrogance, just certainty, just clarity, just the quiet belief that your thoughts deserve a seat at the table. From a Stoic perspective, this phrase exposes a deeper problem. You are judging yourself before reality has the chance to judge you. That is attachment to fear, not wisdom. The Stoics did not teach self-degradation. They taught self-honesty and calm expression. Marcus Aurelius warned against making yourself smaller to avoid discomfort. Epictetus taught that if your intention is rational and well-formed, you must present it with steadiness, not apology. Most men hide behind this phrase because they are afraid of being corrected, contradicted, or dismissed. But here's the irony. When you pre-apologize for your ideas, you make people more likely to dismiss them. Not because the idea is bad, but because you wrapped it in weakness. Your thoughts deserve clarity, not apology. A stronger alternative is simple and neutral. Here's an idea worth considering. Or, here's something I've been thinking about. These phrases don't elevate you, but they don't degrade you either. They create open space. They invite collaboration. They frame the idea as something to explore, not something to ridicule. To practice this, start noticing how often you soften your thoughts before speaking. Notice the moment your mind wants to say, "This might be dumb," or "This is probably nothing." Catch it. Replace it. Speak the idea plainly. You don't need to oversell it. You don't need to defend it. You only need to express it clearly. Then let the conversation reveal its merit. Over time, this trains your nervous system to tolerate exposure, one of the most essential skills for American social, professional, and relational success. People respect the man who can articulate an idea clearly and accept feedback calmly. They trust the man who speaks without fear, even in uncertainty. The truth is simple. Ideas are rarely stupid. Only delivery is. Your mantra for this phrase: my ideas deserve clarity, not apology. 6. Don't worry about me. I'm good. Some sentences sound tough. Some sentences sound independent. But this one quietly hides the truth. I'm struggling, but I'm terrified to be seen struggling. In American culture, men are trained from childhood to carry their own weight, suppress their emotions, and deal with it. So this phrase becomes a reflex, a shield. It's what men say when they're hurt but don't want to appear weak. It's what they say when life hits hard but they don't trust anyone enough to be honest. It's what they say when their world is falling apart, but they believe their only role is to endure silently. But here's the irony. The more you say, I'm good, the worse your internal world becomes. Not because pain is shameful, but because denial is. When you hide behind this phrase, you send the message that your emotional life is unapproachable. You block connection. You refuse support. You shut the door on understanding. People stop checking on you not because they don't care, but because you've taught them your feelings are off limits. And over time, this creates distance, even with the people you love the most. That distance turns into isolation, and isolation turns into weakness, not strength. Stoicism is often misinterpreted as emotional suppression, but that misunderstanding has damaged countless men. Stoicism is not about pretending everything is fine. It is about examining reality honestly, responding rationally, and speaking with clarity. The Stoics never feared vulnerability. They feared self-deception. Marcus Aurelius wrote repeatedly about acknowledging his own exhaustion, frustration, and emotional strain. He expressed it with dignity, not denial. When you say, "Don't worry about me, I'm good," what the world hears is, "I'm closing off. I don't want connection. I don't trust myself enough to be honest." But the truth is that emotional honesty, when expressed with composure, increases respect, not decreases it. People trust a man more when he can say, "Things are tough right now," without falling apart. They trust a man who is grounded enough to acknowledge reality without dramatizing it. They trust a man who can be human without losing his center. A stronger Stoic alternative is, "I'm handling it, but it's been challenging." It's honest. It's composed. It invites understanding without demanding it. It shows strength without pretending to be invincible. It tells others that you are aware, present, and willing to face what's happening without hiding behind emotional armor. To practice this, pay attention to the next time someone asks how you're doing. Notice the automatic "I'm good" climbing up your throat. Pause. Breathe. Replace it with a version of the truth. Even a small sentence, "It's been a long week," begins retraining your relationship with vulnerability. In the Stoic sense, vulnerability isn't about dumping your feelings everywhere. It's about refusing to lie, to yourself or others. When you acknowledge reality, you strengthen your inner stability. When you name your challenges calmly, you anchor your mind instead of denying your experience. True strength isn't pretending you're unbreakable. True strength is facing life without hiding from it. Your mantra for this phrase: strength includes truth. 7. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do. Some sentences sound cooperative. Some sentences sound respectful or willing to help. But this one quietly confesses something deeper. I don't trust my own judgment. Please make the decision for me. In America, especially in workplaces, teams, and relationships, this phrase is far more common than people admit. A man says it when he's overwhelmed. He says it when he's afraid of making the wrong choice. He says it when he wants someone else to carry the responsibility. And while it may seem harmless, it sends a message that damages credibility instantly. I'm not comfortable leading. I'm not confident choosing. I would rather follow orders than take ownership. People rarely judge you for lacking information, but they do judge you for lacking initiative. And this phrase, more than almost any other, shows that you don't want to think, decide, or take the risk of being wrong. From a Stoic lens, the problem isn't the request for guidance. Even great leaders seek advice. The problem is abdication. It's giving away your agency. It's surrendering your inner authority. Stoicism teaches that autonomy is the core of dignity. Epictetus wrote that while we can't control everything around us, we are always responsible for our choices, how we evaluate, how we decide, how we act. When you ask someone else to choose your path, you abandon the very thing that makes you strong, the power of self-direction. This phrase also shifts the emotional weight onto someone else. Instead of evaluating the situation, engaging your judgment, or proposing a next step, you force the other person to manage the uncertainty for both of you. It creates an imbalance. They lead, you follow. They think, you comply. And over time, this pattern makes others see you as someone who needs hand-holding instead of someone capable of independent thought. In American culture, whether at work, in dating, or in friendships, respect gravitates toward the man who can say, "Here's what I'm thinking," not the one who asks, "What am I supposed to do?" Even if your idea isn't perfect, even if your plan is rough, the act of generating it signals initiative, competence, and confidence. People don't expect perfection. They expect a perspective. A stronger Stoic alternative is simple and powerful. Here are my options, and here's my choice. This shows responsibility. It shows engagement. It shows that you've thought through the situation and are willing to lead your own decision-making. You're not forcing your idea on others, but you're also not hiding behind indecision. You're stepping into agency. Practice this shift in small moments. When someone asks what you want to do, give a suggestion instead of deflecting. When a problem appears, propose a solution before asking for direction. When you feel the urge to surrender responsibility, pause and ask yourself, what do I think is the next best step? Even identifying one option is enough to start building internal leadership. Over time, these repetitions, these micro-decisions, rebuild your confidence and eliminate the reflex to seek instruction. You stop asking for permission to act. You start taking ownership, and people naturally respect the man who stands on his own judgment. Leadership doesn't begin when others follow you. Leadership begins when you stop abandoning yourself. Your mantra for this phrase: I lead myself first. There's a moment in every man's life when he realizes this truth. Strength isn't stolen from him. It slips away through the words he repeats every day without thinking. If you've recognized even one of the phrases we've covered, that's not a failure, that's awareness. And awareness is the beginning of self-mastery. To change the way people treat you, you must first change the way you speak to them and to yourself. This 7-day Stoic ritual is designed to rebuild your internal authority, sharpen your clarity, and strengthen the presence you bring into every room. Day 1, audit your weak phrases. Write down every moment you softened, apologized, or avoided your truth today. Day 2, replace each phrase. Use the Stoic alternatives: calm, steady, grounded. Day 3, practice the 3-second pause. Silence before speaking builds control and destroys impulsive weakness. Day 4, set one boundary verbally. Something small, spoken clearly, without apology. Day 5, state your preference in every decision. Food, plans, ideas. Claim your space. Day 6, honest emotional check-in. No more, I'm good. Speak one truthful sentence. Day 7, lead one decision. Offer your idea first. Present your options. Choose your path. This ritual is not about becoming louder. It's about becoming unwavering. Your voice becomes strong the moment it aligns with your principles, not your fears. Repeat this truth every morning. My words follow my values. My presence reflects my discipline. My voice carries strength. You've just uncovered 7 phrases that quietly drain your strength, your presence, and the respect people give you. These aren't loud mistakes or dramatic failures. They're small habits of speech that slowly reshape how the world sees you and how you see yourself. But the moment you recognize them, you take back something powerful: choice. And choice is the foundation of every Stoic transformation. Remember, respect isn't won through force or volume. It's earned through clarity, boundaries, and the courage to speak from principle instead of fear. Every phrase you replace, every moment you pause before responding, every time you express your truth calmly, you sharpen the identity you're choosing to live with. So as you walk out of this video, choose one phrase to eliminate today. Choose one stronger alternative to practice. And choose to speak like a man who knows his values and stands behind them without apology. If this helped you, like, share, and comment which phrase you're dropping today. And never forget, your voice is your power. Use it with intention.